Hi, this is Elisa from Blisstivity, and I wanted to do a video to show you my new setup for the year. Just a really brief history. I've been bullet journaling for 3 years now, and I first started in just a regular old journal, just an A5 journal, A4 journal, and what I didn't like about having everything in one book, like the traditional bullet journal method is that sometimes you create things that you really want to keep for a long time, and then potentially on the next page you write something like meeting notes that you might never look at again. So I quickly moved to a traveler's notebook, which, if you don't know, has smaller inserts or books that go inside of a cover. And I had a book for just kind of like an everything book for notes. I had a book for my weekly spreads, which I use often. And then I had a book for like my nicer collections or illustrations. And I didn't use this. I used this for about a year, and then the second year, last year, I didn't really use it as much as I should have used it. I mainly just used the weekly spreads, and I really wanted to find something that I would use more often. So this year, I'm moving into Kelly Creates Peace Journal, and it's in a filofax setup. And what that means is that it has 6 rings inside it. So all the paper is hole punched and put into it. And I decided on this because I wanted the flexibility to move things around, but I wanted to be able to go back to having everything in one spot. One thing I think that deterred me from using this was the inserts are so small. I felt like the pages were precious and I didn't want to use them up. So I wanted to make sure I get away from that, but still have everything together in one spot. So I love the look of the Kelly Creates series. One downside to this journal is that it doesn't have a closure or a clasp. So as you notice, I've just put a rubber band around it because I need to be able to stick it in my bag and have it not all come open. So when we go into it, these are the Kelly Creates inserts, dividers, which I just love everything about it, the whole atmosphere of it. The beautiful wording, the colors, the mandalas. Really happy with the Kelly Creates series that I found this summer. So my first section is actually just my pen test section, and I refer to this section a lot. And I wanted something to put in between my cover page and my weekly tab, and I go back to this page a lot to compare colors and to find specific colors. After that, like I said, I've got my weekly tab. That's the probably most used section, and this is where I like to break down the weeks into what is going to be important for me. So this week I had a 3-day work week and then a long weekend, and then this is for next week. I'll have a full week, my first full week of school, so I've already gotten that set up. But sometimes I just kind of branch off completely, and I just started this list on Wednesday. I felt a little confined by the smaller boxes I had drawn, and just started just a bullet list, and it kind of took off for the week. So it happens, you know. That's the point of bullet journaling, to make it what it needs to be for you. The next section I have is calendar, and again, I love these pages that come in between. And the calendar comes with the Kelly Creates Peace Journal, and it comes just with this decoration down the middle, and then the blank boxes and the month. So I've edited everything else in, had a lot of fun with this, kind of made it a memory type calendar, and added some stickers in. I'm not a big sticker person. I've never used stickers before, but I found this set of stickers I think at Target, and I noticed the colors just went really well with the colors from the Kelly Creates. So I grabbed it and just thought I'd have some fun one night and stickered up my monthlies. So in between my monthlies, I have the review for the month, the memories, which I don't really need as much for August because I have them all here, but I think for the future months I'm going to be using it more as a scheduling tool. So this will be an important page. And then on the back side, the goals for the next month. And this was something important to me. This is why I wanted to get something like this, because when I was bullet journaling, I felt like when I had time to make the spreads, it wasn't time to make the spreads in my journal, and I didn't like that conflict. So now I can make these whenever I need, whenever I have time, and fill them in. So here's my September, getting started to get filled in. I've finished my setup for my September review. This is left for memories, and then goals for October. Review, memories, goals. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to really like this sort of setup and stick with it. And also, you know, I kind of missed having a calendar to be able to write things, future things in. I know a lot of people do the future planning, but I really like having a calendar. And this is where I'll put year-end memories, I was thinking. So it does come with 12 months. I just only put 6 in here because I wanted some more room in the book for other things. I put the other 6 aside, and I'll pull it out towards the end of the year. So the next section is for school, starting off with my school calendar. They've just finished my schedule for the year yesterday. So I'll put that probably on the back of this. And then for each of my grades, this is what I use for kind of my year-long planning. So I have just a year-long scope and sequence that goes through all the months. I see my classes once a week, so I've got usually 4, I usually see them 4 times in a month. And that way I can see the big breaks, I can see when the quarter ends, I can see when exams are, and I can kind of plan out my overview of the year. So these are my go-tos throughout the year. In addition, I'm not sure if I'll put it on the back here or put another insert in, but I'll probably want to keep track of grading, especially during exams times. Usually I make an exams checklist because that's multiple steps between grading it and entering them, and grading different pieces of it. So lots of room in here for more things. Next, I have my collections. So here's an idea of different collections that I am interested in making. And then starting with my special days spread, which covers birthdays and anniversaries. Then I've got my countries tracker. Then this is going to be my reading log for the year, and I've put off finishing it because I need to get access to a color printer. But I'm going to print out the covers of the different books I've read, and then color coordinate it and highlight when I've read it. And I'll have that all kept track of that on my computer, so I just need to work on filling that in. Here's my activity and measurements tracker for the rest of the year. So I have my different activities down here, and I wanted to make sure the boxes were big enough that I could put more than one activity, because sometimes, you know, I usually do running and yoga, or you know, the elliptical and stretching, so that way I can fit up to 4 activities in there. So one box equals a half an hour for me. And I'll start keeping track of my weights and measurements tomorrow. So after that, I just have blank pages. The pages from Kelly Creates are wonderful. I love them. They're nice and thick without being too thick and taking up room. But as you've noticed, there's almost no ghosting, 98% not ghosting. They're dotted, but it's not too dark, it's not too light. I wish we could buy more of just the paper inserts by themselves, because I definitely would. It's great paper. I did try and buy more paper online, and it came out as this kind of thinner yellowish paper, Not a huge fan, but on the bright side, you know, then it kind of gets me rid of that whole precious paper idea. So I've been using these just for, this is kind of my whatever section, different like notes from meetings, webinar that I watch, my budget for the month, and then some different notes on a fitness book that I was reading and my meal plan. So I'm able to use these pages without feeling like I'm wasting them. So I have plenty of those that I bought. Again, these are the rest of the inserts. A few more pages. Oh, so the Kelly Creates does come with a lot of pages that have these parts printed on them. There's love, art, make, and I think there's one more, create. I think it's on the back of the calendars. Anyway, so a significant amount of the pages are used with that on there. So I left a couple back here so I could try to use them up. So I used some in between the calendars, but I'm kind of sad that the pages are a little wasted. I mean, it's a nice idea, but for what I'm using for, it doesn't really work. I also kind of went a little crazy and bought the Kelly Creates stickers to go with it. Again, I'm not a sticker person, but these were just really pretty, and you saw a couple of them in my monthlies. And then here are the rest of the inserts. These are just a little thicker cardstock, and they also come with the tabs here. So that is my plan for the year. Pen test, weekly, calendar, school, collections, and then notes and extra papers. I'm really hoping that this filofax Kelly Creates book piece journal will work well for me. So far so good. I like that I can put in my own paper, print it out, put it in, and also have lots of room for everything. That's all I have. So again, this is Elisa from Blisstivity, and I hope you enjoyed your look inside my journal for the year.